Download the free Gun Dealio app to your smartphone. Find out about the latest deals and news on guns and gear. Includes the latest Gun Talk podcast and Gun Talk videos. That's Gun Dealio on the App Store and Google Play.
Today on Tom Gresham's Gun Talk, the 2018 World All-Around Shotgun Champion talks with Tom about his win last week. Plus, a new book about using your mind to avoid or get out of dangerous situations. And the latest in the fight for gun rights and more. So call in now, 866-TALK-GUN, with your questions, comments, and range reports. Now, here's Tom Gresham.
All righty, Tom Gresham here. Absolutely. Well, where else would I be? It's Gun Talk. It's Sunday. You got to be here. By the way, if you're listening to this on another day, we do it live on Sundays. You got to catch us at that point. We're on from 2 to 5 live on Sundays Eastern Time. And then, of course, we have the podcast that goes out a little bit after that. And then we upload everything. You can listen to this show and all the other shows anytime you want to, just by downloading them and listening to them. Your Apple iTunes, all the other ways that you get podcasts. Hey, great to be here. I'm glad that you are here with us as well. We're going to be looking for your range reports, the guns that you have taken out, whether it's guns or ammo or optics or whatever you've been shooting, or even, we love stories of introducing people to the shooting sports, or those stories where you're talking to someone and they suddenly get it, where they weren't understanding the whole self-defense, self-reliance, protecting yourself and your family discussion, and the light bulb just comes on. And they go, oh, okay, I wasn't thinking about that the right way. Love those stories as well. So our number is 866-TALK-GUN, or just dial Tom Talk Gun. You know, of course, that my basic baseline on gun rights is that you must belong to groups that fight for you when you're sleeping. I mean, that's ultimately what it is. When you join a gun rights group and you lend your support, your dollars, your time, whatever it is, you're banding together so that you always have somebody representing your interest, our interest, because you can't go to D.C., you can't go to the state capitol all the time. So you all get together and you hire a lobbyist, or you hire people, or you have volunteers, or you trade off and you build phone trees and email lists and everything else. And that's really ultimately what the NRA is about. It's what the Second Amendment Foundation is about. It's what all the state groups are about. And the NRA, of course, is the 800-pound gorilla in the whole thing. And a big part of the process that happens there is with the board of directors and who's on and who's making things happen. And it is a pleasure to welcome onto Gun Talk a good friend, an old friend, Buzz Mills from Gunsight, owner of Gunsight Training Academy out in Arizona, who was just reelected to the board of directors of NRA. Hey, Buzz, how are you?
I'm great, Tom. I'm doing awful good, and I thank you.
Absolutely. We've talked about this. You've been fighting for our rights. You've been fighting for this country for a half a century. First, I think it was first as a Marine. You may have been doing it before that.
Well, no, that's right. I was 17 years old when I raised my right hand, and ever since then, I've been involved in the forefront of rights for Americans, civil rights for Americans, and you were talking about supporting your local organizations and or your gun rights organizations, and I was just sitting here contemplating that, and I realized that, I'm a member of 6 of these gun rights organizations, counting state organizations, and a good friend of mine is president of the New York State group, and they've got a big war going on up there with the state, with their SAFE Act and all that. Yep. And so we even support them. And
you
that's
bet.
a long way from America.
I know what you mean. I mean, whether it's New York with Peter King or Gold in Massachusetts, or Buckeye Firearms in Ohio, or even Cal Guns, out in California, there's a fight everywhere. Some of them are more pressing than others, and I want to get your take on this, and I've been talking about this a while. This fight where a lot of us have said, well, we don't have that fight here, thank goodness, that's in Massachusetts or New York. the fight's coming to all the states now, and in one form or another, the Bloomberg folks are handing these bad gun bills to legislators in every state and getting them introduced. And we're having the fight everywhere now.
Well, I know it. I was involved last week in Arizona. We had a bill introduced that just about totally deprived you of due process if somebody wanted to declare you as incompetent.
Oh, and, this thing they call their red flag laws. Yes, I've seen those.
Yeah, and I got with our legislators there in Arizona, and I think we just about killed it. I think we have just about killed it. If it comes through, it will be very difficult to have somebody declared incompetent.
But you still had to go there, and you had to talk to people, and you have to spend collateral, whether it's money or, in this case, time. And traditionally, we've all kind of sat back and said, well, let the NRA do it. And, for years we've been saying, well, you are the NRA. That's what we are. Each individual has to show up.
We are, yeah, and we've got well over 5 million members now, but we've got well over a million and a half, well more than that, 100 million. We've got well over 100 million supporters who think they're NRA members because they were at one time.
Well, you're right. A lot of people think they're NRA members, and they don't realize that their membership has lapsed.
I know it, and I spend a lot of time counseling people on that. Of course, when folks come to Gunsight to attend a class, I don't know if I told you this or not, Tom, but our web address is www.gunsight.com. Anyway, when folks come out there, we award them with a brand new, shiny 12-month membership in the NRA. Really? And that's to get them started.
Okay, so if somebody comes out to take a class at Gunsight and they're not already a member, you give them a membership.
Absolutely. And if they are a member, we encourage them to give that membership to a good friend or maybe even a liberal that lives down the street so the postman can deliver that American Rifleman magazine to them every month.
God, I love it. What do you see in any changes or movement in people taking classes, people getting serious about protecting themselves and their families these days?
Well, they are. And particularly the ladies. We've seen a tremendous increase in the number of women signing up for classes. We also have a tremendous increase in our youth programs that are just overflowing. It's been really something. I thought that we would see once the Obama administration was over, we'd see a fall off, a decline in the business, but it's continued to grow. I think people are more aware now of what's at risk, and it's just every day you have got to be at the top of your game every day fighting this battle.
One of the things that I have seen, and I don't know if it's filtered its way to Gunsight yet, but I'm guessing it may have, is the 27-year-old woman in Boston, African-American woman, who is mad because she can't get a permit to carry her Glock in Boston. And the number of African-Americans who have decided to get serious about this who were not real visible, I would say maybe 10 years ago, and other people of color throughout the United States. I guess what I'm saying is, are you seeing a growth there? Because I think maybe the whole idea of self-defense and taking care of yourself and being responsible for yourself and your family is cutting across all different demographic groups now. It is. We're seeing a big increase in all the minorities, and that's you bring that up, and that was one of the things that the NRA was founded about. Was back in 1871, was after the Civil War. The South passed a lot of Jim Crow laws. I'm from the South, and I'm real proud of my heritage. But at that time, they passed a bunch of Jim Crow laws, and part of the thrust of the NRA since the very beginning is looking out for
for the folks that really need to be able to protect themselves, and it continues through this day. I'm glad to see the participation of the minorities in the NRA and other gun rights groups, because they're integral. Their freedom is tied to our freedom, and you cannot separate the two of them.
What's your, if you had to say, what's your big plan now going forward? You're not just a board member. Obviously, you have Illing New, range instructor at Gunsight, and Julie Golub, all elected to the board. You got some really good folks there. What's the emphasis now?
Well, I don't know that you're going to see a whole lot different than what we've always been, which is, we spend a tremendous time and money on youth education and programs, educational programs for youngsters. I think you're going to continue to see that. I think you're going to continue to see an increased awareness in the local and state legislatures, trying to combat these new initiatives that are being started here and there.
They're coming from all directions.
Yeah, Illing, she was just elected to the board. This will be our first term.
Right.
And I've known her for 20 years. She's been teaching for me at Gunsight, and just a fabulous individual. She's very, very talented. She is, she's a graduate of Yale. And
I just going to say she's scary smart, as well as being a really good shooter and a fisherwoman, and does a lot of other things. I think she'd be a great addition. Oh yeah, well, she's very, very, very multifaceted. She's a great hunter. She's been a licensed guide for decades up in the Northwest, and she brings a lot of talent. And she spends almost all of her summers, every summer, in California at youth camps, teaching the youngsters not just firearms, but a lot of stuff that they need to know. So she is going to bring a tremendous, be a tremendous asset to the NRA, and I'm just thrilled that the folks selected her to carry the fight forward. You bet. Very impressive lady, and just and as I say, a really good instructor, handgun hunter all the way around. Hey, Buzz, I got to run here, but I just want to congratulate you and thank you and encourage people to go take a look at the website, Gunsight, GUNSITE.com. Gunsight, it is the oldest privately owned firearms training facility in the world. How about that?
I love it. They are absolutely correct, Tom. Thank you. Thank you for all you do. Thank you for carrying this fight forward nationwide with your program. We really do appreciate all you do.
All right. Thank you. It's a pleasure to call you my friend. Thank you, Buzz. All right. 866-TALK-GUN. Here's the deal. Everybody who gets on the air today gets something. Okay, we're going to send you something. I'll tell you the details when we come back. 866-TALK-GUN.
Stand for the Second Amendment with Franklin Armory. Their 3-position BFS Gen 3 trigger is one of the hottest products for your AR, HK, ACR, CZ, and B&T in curved and straight variations. In position 3, fire 1 round on pull and 1 round on release. Ideal for both tactical and competition use. Get a 10% discount on everything with the code word GUNTALK at franklinarmory.com.
The battlefield, where tyranny is laid to rest, where freedom comes of age, and where legends are conceived. Introducing the FN 509 handgun, a direct result of over 1 million rounds of testing. Descended from over 125 years of the world's most battle-proven firearms on battlefields both foreign and domestic. The FN 509, a legend in the making. Learn more at fnamerica.com.
This land, once wild and free, fades now from our memory. But I remember what it was like, what we were like, what we are capable of when we band together. Perhaps more than any other landscape, wetlands embody the life-giving abundance that nature has to offer. And perhaps more than any other organization, Ducks Unlimited is working to ensure that our continent's wetlands not only survive, but thrive for generations well beyond this one. These natural wonders are where waterfowl begin their cycle of life, where the deer and the antelope play, and where we, the people, gather together to see and share what makes the outdoors so great. The time is now to band together with organizations like Ducks Unlimited. The time is now to rescue our wetlands.
I spy a black pickup truck. Oh, come on. How about something a little easier? Okay, I spy error-free forms, fast ATF processing, a 90-day money-back guarantee, and the largest inventory in the industry. I spy Powered By. That's right. With over 300 Powered By Silencer shop retailers nationwide, there's always one close by. Is that easy enough for you? Ha! Almost too easy.
Demand Powered By. Shop our industry-leading inventory at silencershop.com.
All right, here's the news for today. Everybody who gets on the show today, on the air, gets a book. We're cleaning out a whole bunch of gun books. I'm moving back into the house. We moved back into the house after the fire last year. 250 boxes moved into the house. 80 of them, 80. No, wait, we corrected that. 82. 82 boxes were books. Yeah, a lot of the books were gun books. A lot of them don't need to live here anymore. So we're handing them out. Now, here's the deal. You don't get to pick. You get what you get, and you don't pitch a fit, okay? But when you get on the air today, we're going to get your mailing address, and we're going to send you a gun-related book. Some of them are even signed by the author. Some of them may be signed, even to me or to my dad. You just never know. I just can't keep them all anymore. It's just there's more than I can possibly do. So that's the deal. Our number is, it's easy. Tom Talk Gun. We'll get you in there. Just dial Tom Talk Gun. And you know what? We'll start it out this way. The horrible question. The horrible proposition. The thing you would hate to think about. You can choose only one rifle cartridge to use in North America for everything. Everything. Self-defense, hunting, target shooting, everything. One cartridge. Irrespective of the rifle, semi-auto, bolt, I don't care. What's it going to be? What's your choice? Yes, I know you don't want to get down to one. Neither do I. But it's always a fun game to play, isn't it? Besides, it'll get you to call in. We'll get you a free book. All right, just got this email from Scott, and he writes this email to Fox News. Now, they're reporting a shooting, a mass murder, if you will, rampage at a Tennessee Waffle House this morning. Guy gets out of a car, starts shooting through the glass, I think kill 4 people. I like this from Scott. This is good True Squad action. Fox News, I am noticing your coverage of what you are calling the Tennessee Waffle House rampage, in which a murderer used a gun to commit murder. I notice in your story that you used the word gunman 10 times when not used in quotes, the term shooter twice, and the term suspect 3 times, and the term shooting 6 times when used as a noun and not in quotes, and the term attack, murderer, attacker, and murderer 0 times. Why do you use those terms so much? But I have not noticed you using the terms such as stabber, knife man, knifing, car man, hatchet man, hatcheting, hammer man, hammering, etc., when other tools are used to commit murder. Please help me understand how that seems balanced to you. Scott, that's an excellent letter to Fox News. Makes the point when they keep talking about shootings this, shootings that, gunman this, gunman that. They don't do that for any other form of attack with any other kind of tool. And it makes people equate violence with guns when it is not always the case. And, they don't even think about it. They probably won't even pay attention to the letter. But one letter doesn't make an impression. 10 letters may not make an impression. 100 letters, 100 emails, maybe. 1,000 emails saying, hey, why don't you guys think about the words you're using? You are poisoning the atmosphere. You are poisoning the public perception. You're actually coloring the news. And you're supposed to be the fair and balanced network. Not that they always are, but they're better. Okay? Ron Brown. One cartridge, right? 358 Winchester in an LR308 platform. That's interesting. For those who don't know, the 358 Winchester is the 308 necked up to 35 caliber. It's a cool, older, not old, but older cartridge. 358 Winchester. I'm trying to think, what was that? The heck was that chambered in? It seems like maybe there was a Winchester Model 88 that got chambered in, but I can't remember. It's interesting. Tell you what, let's go talk to folks who do have some thoughts. Line 3, Jeff's with us out of LeGrand, Oregon. Hey, Jeff, you're on Gun Talk.
Tom, I've been looking for a 327 Federal and been hitting gun shows, and they're really hard to find. People must really love them because they're not getting rid of them. And I was
you're not going to find anything used. You're going to have to buy a new one.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of difficult, too, but I was at a gun show in Lewiston, Idaho a couple months ago, and one of the vendors told me that Ruger was going to reissue or up their production or something of 3 different models of 327 Federal, and I just wondered what you had heard about that.
I had heard the same thing, and I'm not sure. I think we'll maybe look at it. I can't remember if it's GP100, but there's 2 or 3 of them. And look, they understand. Ruger has gotten behind on a lot of guns. They're bringing out a lot of new guns, and the problem is every time they bring them out, the demand far exceeds the supply and their ability to make them. And it's great that we're having all these new guns, but it's also kind of sucky that we can't get the guns in many cases. And trust me, nobody hates it worse than Ruger. I mean, they don't want you to want a gun and they can't sell it to you. So work on that. Next time I talk with them, I'll ask him, and we'll get a lineup of which 327s are going to be coming out. 866 Talk Gun.
Sign up for our Gun Talk newsletter and join the Truth Squad at www.guntalk.com. Now, back to Gun Talk with Washington Times opinion page regular contributor Tom Gresham.
All right, we're back with you. Tom Gresham here. I am just about to click on this and get my info. Yes, there it is. We had a caller ask about the Rugers in 327 Federal. Michelle gave me a whole list of models that they have. So I went on the Ruger website. They have 12, believe it or not, 12 revolvers chambered for the 327 Federal, including some really cool ones that are available only through certain distributors. Like Lipsey's has a Bisley in 327. There are some other really cool ones. And then, of course, I got distracted and I clicked on 44 Special because I've been thinking about what I really need is a 44 Special revolver because I just, everybody does, right? And they've got a 3-inch barrel, GP100, 5. Okay, yeah, I know. Okay. By the way, Gun Talk videos are always available on YouTube, Facebook, Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV, and GunTalk.com 24/7. You can check out. We have thousands of videos there. 866 Talk Gun or just, Tom Talk Gun is easier, honestly. Just dial Tom Talk Gun. Everybody who gets on the air today gets a free gun book. You don't get to pick it. We get to pick it because we're getting rid of stuff. I had a buddy that was doing a garage sale one time, and when people would come pick something out and buy it, he'd say, okay, that's cool, here you go. And then he'd pick up something else and hand it to him. And they go, well, what is that? I didn't choose that. He says, no, you don't understand. When you buy something, you have to take something else. The goal here is not making money. The goal is for me to get rid of this stuff. So that's what's going on. We're getting rid of a lot of gun books, and there's some really good stuff. But everybody who gets on the air today gets a gun book. Pretty cool. Let's see. Oh, line 2. Ryan is with us out of North Dakota. I believe that is out of Ray, North Dakota. Hey, Ryan.
Hey,
Just want to give you a range report. I got a Ruger Precision 22.
Nice.
And, you know, those things are pretty cheap. And after putting a scope and bipod and monopod on, I mean, you're still less than $500, and that thing shoots awesome, too.
You know, when you first look at it, I don't know what you thought. Before I knew, I looked at it and said, okay, well, this is going to be a $600 or $700 rifle. You know, and it probably looks like it's about that kind of quality and all. What did you end up having to pay for the rifle itself?
I think it was just under $400. Something I think I got it for.
It's kind of crazy, isn't it? So how's it shoot?
It shoots good. Shooting out to 150 yards, it's good. For
really?
22.
What kind of ammo?
I've used a lot of different kinds, I guess.
Just whatever you had, huh?
Yeah, but I've shot from 25 to over 100 yards and hitting it.
So what is it about this Ruger Precision Rifle 22 that's so interesting to you?
Well, I like the looks of it. And if you don't have that magazine in, people think that it's a 308 or everybody's like, what size is that? And, it's just a 22.
Yeah, and everybody goes, what? Really? Now, let me ask you, do you have a centerfire version of the Ruger Precision Rifle?
No, not yet.
You know, because a lot of people have the centerfire version, and then they get the 22 for affordable practice.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool.
I just like that bold action.
Mm-hmm.
And,
it's a nice rifle.
Enough to stay stable. And
it's accurate.
Yeah.
Thing just shoots. Well, that's great. I appreciate the range report. That's very good. Look for a book of some sort coming your way in the next few weeks. I appreciate the call, sir. Let's see. We were asking if you had to pick one rifle caliber, not rifle, but caliber for a rifle, for everything in North America, what would it be? Jim says 308 or 30-06. Okay, that'll work. Line 1, Brad's with us out of Topeka, Kansas. What happened at your rally at the State House there, Brad?
Tom, we had a great rally Friday with about, 300 people showed up. Our Secretary of State, Chris Kobach, spoke, and we had about 12 legislators and other politicians there. Of course, many there for re-election, but it was a great vocal turnout, and it was funny that we had 2 school buses show up across the street, and shortly thereafter, we had about 20 to 24 16-year-olds holding signs in the back of our rally, and they were singing and protesting and just made our rally more the better, and it was a sight to see.
So how many of you were there?
There's about 300 people, and we had several television stations, and I saw 2 of the reports here in Topeka, and both the stations gave us good reports.
Well, it's interesting you say that, because I've been getting texts and on Twitter reports from people who say that the media reports of the pro-gun rights rallies were generally very good.
Well, they were ordinary, we're ordinary people, and that shows up. And we're not acting crazy or anything like that, and we're just protecting our freedoms, and I think people appreciate that.
Do you think that the media is a little bit surprised? May not be the right word, but I'm going with surprised to come down there and see, these are my neighbors. These are just people just like me. They're regular old people, and maybe that kind of affects the reporting?
I think it does. I wished we could have had 10 times as many people, and I'm sure we could have. We didn't. People didn't know about this till a few days ahead of time, and we didn't do, or the NRA or our Rifle Association didn't do that great a job on getting the word out. But for what they did, we had a great turnout, and it was very vocal. And of course, Kansas is a conservative state, and that's you can't say what happens back east with the news media, but we're treated a little differently out here in the Plains.
Sure, I understand, but that's excellent. And this was not an NRA deal at all. This was a true grassroots deal that just popped up.
Well, this was put on by the NRA and the Kansas State Rifle Association.
Oh, it was? Okay, so that one was.
Yeah, it was
a lot of the ones were not.
Well, this one was, and it was, pretty well attended. I was very pleased.
Excellent. Well, that's a great range report. Thank you, sir. Look for your book, man.
All right, thanks.
All right, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, let's see. All right, let's take a quick break here. We'll get back. Don, don't go anywhere. Frank, don't go anywhere. We're going to get to you, but if you'd like to get in line, if you've got a thought, a report, or a gun you want to tell me about, or a question, or if you just think gun people are nuts and crazy and evil and terrorists and should have all their guns taken away, I'll shut up and give you the floor. We'll put you first in line. Just give me a call, 866-TALK-GUN. I'll even send you a gun book.
Your everyday carry advantage. The new M&P Shield M2.0 pistol from Smith & Wesson has the enhancements of the M2.0 line with aggressive grip texture and a crisp and lighter trigger pull. Extremely thin and lightweight, you can carry it all day. Also available with an integrated Crimson Trace laser in 9 or 40. The M&P Shield M2.0. Visit smith-wesson.com.
You got your carry permit, and that's good. But you know you could use more training. Get the DVDs, which have what you need. Springfield Armory presents Concealed Carry 1 and Concealed Carry 2 with Batagroup. Learn specific concealed carry skills from Top Gun fighting trainers. Get trained. Be prepared. This really is life and death. ShopGunTalk.com. That's ShopGunTalk.com.
For 36 years, the U.S. Sportsmen's Alliance has been fighting to protect hunting, fishing, and trapping for sportsmen from coast to coast. Today, we are under constant attack from extremist animal rights groups who want to end your ability to hunt in the U.S. Join us to protect our sporting heritage and our way of life outdoors. To join or for more information on how you can help, go to ussportsman.org. That's ussportsman.org.
Laser sights increase confidence, regardless of experience level. Whether you're learning the fundamentals, a seasoned shooter, or simply overcoming aging eyes, laser sights provide instant feedback, providing immediate confidence and enjoyment for a new shooter. Call 800-442-2406 or visit crimsontrace.com for a free copy of our laser training video, The Laser's Edge, and learn more about why Crimson Trace is making laser sights standard equipment.
All right, back with you. Don't forget, you can follow Gun Talk on Instagram for a behind-the-scenes look at all the stuff we do, Gun Talk. I'm Tom Gresham. The number here is 866-TALK-GUN, or just dial Tom Talk Gun. We have a special thing going today. Everybody who gets on the air gets a free gun book. I didn't say new, a free. We're cleaning out the bookshelves. So some of them are going to be fairly new. Some of them are going to be pretty old. And some of those are pretty interesting, too. But don't know what you're going to get. We're just going to grab one, shove it in an envelope, and send it to you. Fair enough? Good deal. Hey, it's free. Although there are people who will complain about free, but not Gun Talk listeners. Pretty cool. Let's see here. Don is on Tulsa, Oklahoma, line 4. You sound like you got an interesting situation here, Don. What's cooking?
I have a firearm that I think is unsafe, and I was wondering if there was a proper way to dispose of it.
Well, tell me about the gun first.
It's an RG-23 with a 20-ounce trigger pull.
RG-23. Remind me what that is.
It's the original Saturday Night Special. The manufacturer retail price when new was $29.99.
Okay. How long have you had it?
About 6 months.
How'd you come by it?
I paid $20 for it because the guy needed some money.
Okay, you're helping out somebody on that deal. You didn't really need the gun, did you?
No, I just, as a responsible owner, I figure it's unsafe. It needs to be properly taken care of.
Right. Could be several ways. You could check with the police, see if they have a gun, a program where you could just give it to them and they will do something with it. This would be silly. Let me ask, in Oklahoma, you don't have to register your guns there, do you?
No.
No. Okay. So, I mean, it's not like it's a record you got to let anybody know. The other thing you could do, quite literally, you could disassemble it as best you can, pull the cylinder out, and just throw it away.
I hadn't thought about that. I was just trying to figure out a way that it would not injure anybody.
Right. Yeah, I mean, if you could remove the cylinder, pitch it, and then different place, different time, different dumpster, or different, trash day at your house, put it into a wrapper inside of a box, inside of a trash bag, and it goes away to a different place. So, do that. The other thing you could do, Michelle is offering, saying, hey, take it to a local gunsmith. And they can take it in. They can legally destroy it according to ATF laws, or maybe even pull parts out of it that would be useful.
Okay.
That would probably be, as I think about it, I like Michelle's idea best. Take it to a local gunsmith. Say, look, I don't need this. You can have it. Pull it for parts. Destroy it. Do whatever you need to do with it.
Okay.
All righty?
That sounds like a plan.
Thanks, Don. I appreciate it. You take care. Frank's in Talkeetna on 3. Talkeetna, Alaska, that is, in case you don't know where Talkeetna is. Hey, Frank.
Everybody knows where Talkeetna is. Come on, Tom.
I would hope so. I've eaten at the Roadhouse there, and I've landed on the landing strip in Talkeetna.
There you go. There you go. I have to agree, we gun people really are nuts. There's no doubt about it. Some have even gone so far as to say we cling to our guns.
Yeah, that's right. We're bitter and we cling to our guns and our religion. Wait, I've heard that before somewhere.
And I know I'm a clinger. There's no doubt.
Well, I'm not bitter, but I am a clinger. Okay, I am an acquirer too. As they say, I have GAS, gun acquisition syndrome.
Oh, I got to remember that. That is definitely cool. So, as far as one cartridge, I know you've heard this 1,000 times, but it would be the .308. And as far as a new rifle for a range report, I was listening to you folks on the after show last week, and briefly, we were talking about 10-millimeter carbines.
Right.
Okay. Well, a company that is not quite up to Smith & Wesson is making one, and that is the High Point 10-millimeter carbine.
You have one?
I've got one. Had it for a week. And I'm shooting it. It has never stovepiped. It has never misfed. And it goes bang every time I pull the trigger.
And is it fun?
Oh, God, is it fun? There's almost no recoil because it is a rifle and because High Point builds it with a spring-loaded butt pad.
Oh, I'll be darned.
Yeah, yeah. And I have heard, I haven't needed it, but I have heard that their after-sales support is to die for.
Well, that is a terrific report. A 10-millimeter carbine that's running real well for you. And I got to tell you, I love it that you bought it because you heard about it on Gun Talk. That's even cooler. So great report, Frank. I appreciate that. And look, check your mail. It'll be probably a couple of weeks, but you should be getting a book of some sort from us, and we'll see what we can get for you. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that call. Yes. Jim says, if you're trying to dispose of a gun, an acetylene torch works really well on an unloaded gun. Yeah, okay. That's probably a good idea. Make sure it's unloaded before you do something like that. It wouldn't be the first gun that ended up in the bottom of the lake, but again, if you were to dispose of it, I would encourage you to take it apart and do it in pieces, parts. But I'd still go back. I kind of like the idea of finding a gunsmith who agrees to take it, might use it for parts, or might just destroy it for you, because it's probably wouldn't be the first time that he or she had a request of some sort like that. Are there any female gunsmiths? Interesting. We ought to check into that. Be right back. Hey, still good stuff. We have our Gun Talk giveaway with Crimson Trace. One grand prize winner is going to receive one Railmaster Pro green laser plus a tactical light plus a Crimson Tactical Light 900 lumen peak and one Crimson Tactical Light 500 lumen peak. All you got to do is go to guntalk.com/win, WIN, 866-TALK-GUN. Let's see, line one, Bill's with us out of Missouri. Bill, this is a follow-up call, I gather.
Hey, Tom, I appreciate your advice, and I took most of it, except I ended up getting a older Winchester 74 that was pitted a little bit, but it'd make a good truck gun.
Let me back up a little bit so people know what we're talking about. You're trying to help a widow get rid of some guns, or say some rusty guns. So what'd you end up doing with most of them?
Well, she's still got them right now, and I suggested what you told the other guy, that maybe a gunsmith could use them for parts.
Ah, okay, because these were damaged or rusty, if I remember right.
Yes. But what I did find that was in a cloth bag and apparently had been oiled up was a 9mm pistol with an old red dot on it. It looks like a space gun, and the pistol is named Linda. And apparently this company was back in the 70s that made these guns, and they made a 9mm carbine, too.
Linda, I don't know that name. Well, have you shot it?
Oh, it is a tack driver. I kid you not. It is and Tom, this thing, some people think it's ugly, but it's built like a tank. I mean, it is built like a tank. You can probably look it up online there. It's just Linda 9mm.
Huh.
And yeah, quite a gun. So I grabbed that right away.
Okay, I'm looking this up. 9mm Wilkinson Arms Linda pistol. Oh wow, I see what you mean. That is a semi-ugly thing. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
But you know what? Beauty is as beauty does, and if the thing shoots well, then that makes it pretty.
Oh, it does shoot well. That old red dot, I was amazed how well it works.
Oh, you son of a gun. That is one strange-looking pistol there. I'm not surprised it didn't stay in production, but I'm glad you got a hold of it. I'm glad it's working for you. That is true. And by the way, thank you for helping this lady try to take care of those guns. It's one of the things that we probably should be aware of, we being the gun people, particularly when a guy dies and his widow's left with the guns. There are always people, and I'm sorry about this, but there are always people, and look, thank you for your call, sir, I appreciate it. There are always people who will swoop down and basically try to steal them. I'll take them off your hands. I'll take care of this for you. I hate it that it happens, but it's true. Don't be that guy. I don't think you are. But you can also say, look, can I help you with this? When the time's right, I will help you. And just tell her, look, don't do anything with them right away. Just let it sit. When you're ready to do something with them, I can help you. I can put you in touch with somebody who can give you an appraisal, or I can put you in touch with a good, reputable gun store or gun dealer who will make you a fair offer. If you want me to go through and catalog them for you, I can do that. I've known a number of people who have done that to the point where I remember Jim Clark Jr. Used to do that. And he would just volunteer to help people. Never got any credit for it. Just did it because he was a good guy. So, it's just one of those things that we have the knowledge, we have the expertise, we have the ability to look them up, to know what they are, to get a price on them, to help people. And a widow may not have any idea where even to start. Just one of the good things that we can do, helping out our neighbors. Don't go far. When we come back, we'll have more interesting guests and your calls, and we're giving away a book per caller on Gun Talk.